Hello, this is Lawrence Romanowski, and this is the second part of a video I'm doing on my Alpina B7S Turbo. And so a little bit of background on this car. I did the first video, but this would be the number 14 of 30 produced of the 6 Series Alpina car from the 80s. They would have made about 400 of the 6 Series cars with both the 3-liter engine and then the 3.5-liter engine and then the new 3.5-liter engine that came out in the E28 bodied 6 Series from 1982 on. So this car is the rarest with only 30 produced. And it's the fastest, and it has the old style of BMW 3.5-liter engine, the same block that was in the M1 and the CSLs before that. So they would have come out with a new version of this car post 82, or post midway through 82, and they would have called that a Turbo 1 Coupe. Before that, it was called a B7 Turbo Coupe. But this is kind of the special car of the lot. And in the first video, I showed it to you, you know, walking around the car and so on, and undergoing a cosmetic restoration. So now what I've done is I've taken the car apart and then bought all these new pieces, and we're awaiting some metal work, and then it goes in for paint, and then we put it all together. Okay, so we took the front end of the car apart and the grills off and so on, and then these are some of the new parts we have. So it didn't have this Alpina front spoiler, and that we got right from Alpina, which I didn't think we can get anymore. It's even you can even see in there the Alpina serial number for it, and it's a pre-drilled for all the holes, and the holes match up, so I'm very pleased to get that. And then I thought that I would just replace all the front pieces just because they were either aged or the chrome was pitted or whatever. So we've got the front grills and the BMW kidney and the badge and the new Hella lights, etc. These strips here at the bottom are the bumper strips. And mechanically, we went through the car, and the only thing that it needed, doesn't even really need, but there's some cracking of one of the ball joints, just a little bit. But anyway, only one's come in, so and you can't just get the ball joint. You need to get the whole piece. One's come in, so we're still waiting on the other piece. So that's the front end of the car, and then, you know, because I wanted to do, there was some little bits of corrosion. Well, there's a little tiny bit in there that you can maybe see where the seal dried out, and then so I thought, well, I might as well take it all apart and just do it all properly. And so the glass has come out, and and I've taken the new pieces and placed them around the car. So I'm just in the process. I don't have all the pieces yet. I'm just in the process of seeing what I have and what I need, etc., etc. So the dash had some cracks in it, and those were fixed beautifully. You can't even tell. So very pleased about that. And these are all the parts that, you know, BMW factory parts that I put in. So any piece of chrome that trim or what have you that displayed any sort of scratches or whatever, I just bought new. Some of them were good. Some of them were good. So I didn't need to, but those are all new. And then these side moldings as well. The car was brought, I think the only car that was sold new into the U.S., and so it was federalized by Detail Enterprises, and they had to do a few things to it to get the DOT approval. One of them is they cut, this had a chrome strip that went across, and they cut it short, and they put in a side marker light right there. And so you know, we need to fill that back in, and then get the correct strip, and the correct strip is no longer available. So I don't know how we're going to do that. Hopefully find some good used ones, or I think what I might be able to do is cut up a new lower piece and put it in. Anyway, so we'll have to figure that out. When they put the bumpers on, they added this really quite hideous rebar, and so we're going to take that off. So here's some of the pieces. The rear tail lights. That's the rear bumper rubber. The corners of it, and this is the chrome piece on the rear bumper. So it was starting to rust a little bit, and then we got various little bits over here, all kinds of things. And on this table, we've got all the rubbers. So again, it's a California car. It was kind of dry, and there was more wind noise than there should have been because the doors weren't sealing because the rubber was hard and cracked. So then we've got the big door rubbers. So these are the ones that are mounted to the body, expensive, and the inner door rubbers. And then we've got the front windscreen seal and the rear windscreen seal, and then that one is for the trunk. Okay. And then on the car, we've got a sunroof seal, and these are the door channels for the window, and then we've got the rear chrome trim as well. We were very fortunate. I was very fortunate to find the car, and it's very well preserved. It's the body's very dry. There's except for this little bit of corrosion, and there's a tiny little some bubbling there. That's it. It's a totally dry car. It's a lot of these are, they were led reasonably hard lives in Europe, and they were rusty. So this is excellent example. But we did find that somebody did a real nice job on the rear parcel shelf to put in a big stereo. So I can't believe they did that. Anyway, we got to fix it. So what I did is I got this piece cut out of another BMW 6 Series, and what we're going to do is cut the top of this out, and we're going to weld it in there approximately where you see the tape, and then this is all covered up with the parcel shelf. So it'll, in fact, I could have just covered it up with the parcel shelf and not done anything, but that wouldn't have been very good. So I'm going to do it all right and make sure that I'm happy with the job. So then there was variations on the rear parcel shelf on these cars. Some of them had the headrests, the tall headrests. Others didn't. Some Alpinas in this model just had a flat shelf, and others had speaker pods. It looks like this piece here that you see that I bolted is covered in leather, and it looks to be original to the car, but then there was nothing behind it. So originally, I'm not really sure exactly what happened, but what I decided to do was buy all new pieces for the rear with the speaker pods. So this then would hinge up. Actually, I'll show you. I also bought just one from a salvage just to get an idea of what they should look like. So of course that's filthy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these speaker pods and drill in the top of them and put a period of Blaupunkt speakers, and then refinish them and have them as a spare set. I don't want to cut into the new ones that I bought. They're just too nice for that. But I'll do two versions. I'll do one with the big speakers, and I'll do one without speakers. The grill there is for normally you'd have a 4x6 speaker that would sit in there. But when the guys bought their Alpina cars, they looked at that and and then decided that they wanted a better sound system. And so what, at least on one other car, right from the factory from Alpina I saw, was just one big speaker cut on top of that. So I'll do one version like that and one stock version, and so we'll keep this if you want to, if I want to use that, or if I like the look of a big period correct, cool looking Blaupunk speaker, I can use the other set. And so these are all, of course, new pieces from BMW, and then that's the new carpet, the new carpeted shelf. We're just in the process now then of cutting that piece out, repairing this parcel shelf, and then we'll figure out the sound system. And what I'd like to do is I'd put in an 80s sound system into the car and have it all look period correct. So that's where I am on the car, and I guess you can stay tuned for the next video when I guess I'll show the car with all of the metalwork done. I'll probably take another one after it's painted, and then when the whole car is finished. So it's kind of an interesting project. It's a special car, and I want to be respectful of the fact that I'm the custodian of a pretty rare BMW, and I want to bring the car back to a level that it deserves. So I guess when you're in the collector world and you're dealing with special cars, you need to take the opinion that you're a custodian and not just the owner, and there's a certain obligation to not screw the car up for the next guy. So anyway, I'll take the time, and everything will be done correctly, and it'll all be NOS, and it'll be retrofitted to the correct European configuration. And this should be a really gorgeous car when it's done. So, and we'll put the deco kit on too. So anyway, it's Lawrence Romanowski, and this is the installment video for the progress on my 1982 Alpina B7S Turbo, number 14. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.